Well, thank you very much for staying with us here, and thank you so much for being along with us all this while. We're glad and grateful to have a new year, and we're glad and grateful to have you along with us as we travel this very important journey. For Ghana, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to sport or international sport, because the 13th Africa Games is coming up in March. We'll be talking about all of that in subsequent editions of the show. But the most important thing for now, and the most important area of focus, is the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations to be hosted by neighboring Cote d'Ivoire. You do remember the story of Ghana, or you do know the story of Ghana. Four-time African champions were not the highest achieving side. Egypt is. And considering the fact that Ghana was amongst the very first nations to hit that milestone and now is struggling to go on to number 5, many are concerned about whether or not Cote d'Ivoire is the ground for Ghana to go and break that jinx that has been in existence for the better part of 4 decades. This goes to tell us that anybody who is age 40, on the stroke of 40 and below, has never witnessed anything like Africa Cup of Nations glory on the part of the Black Stars here in Ghana before. So that is a very big area of concern and a very big subject for conversation as well. So today, we're taking close focus on the Africa Cup of Nations from an experienced mind, and also looking at what the possible opportunities could be for the Black Stars as they look forward to this one. Of course, there have been some days of training, the delays with having our big stars arrive in camp and all of that. But, well, as we go along, we're just going to look at the dynamics and how all of this fits into proper preparation in terms of mind and in terms of physique and technique and everything to get the Black Stars ready for this very big task in Cote d'Ivoire. It's time to get into the big conversation here on this special edition as we start off the year. And this fine gentleman has featured for Ghana in 2 editions of the Africa Cup of Nations. One of the finest pair of limbs and finest talents not to have graced the FIFA World Cup, but sure did contribute immensely to Ghana's qualification to her very first World Cup. In recent years, he has focused his attention on the technical end of things, and of course is doing a lot in that area. Previously, he was in charge of the under-18 men's, or the under-18 boys team of Right to Dream Academy, and under which he was able to do a lot. Of course, did quite a bit as well with North Zealand FC, who are a sister institution to Right to Dream Academy. And away from that as well, he's working on his UEFA licenses and looking forward to securing the highest badge, which will be a UEFA A. Now, away from that as well, he has become one of the most sought after names and faces when it comes to football punditry. He's worked with the Joy Sports team, was one of the biggest points of reference when it came to Joy Sports coverage of the Euro 2020 event live on the Joy Prime channel, and also has featured on Supersport as well on the same stage of the Africa Cup of Nations. Who am I talking about? The man who previously wore the number 7 jersey for the Black Stars, who some time ago had some dreadlocks, but now decided to put all of that away and stage a new look. Laie Kingston is my guest here. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Man Sabato.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you.
Many happy returns.
Yeah, great. Today happens to be the 50th birthday of our big brother and friend, the executive council member of the Ghana FA, Randy Abbey. Randy Abbey celebrates 50 years today. I know he's your brother and friend as well.
Yeah. We all know Doug has been all our friend. We've known Doug for a long time, and our relationship, it's something else. When he see you, the way he will receive you, and all that. I remember when I was playing for the Black Stars, he was part of the management members for the Black Stars team, and his contribution to our first ever World Cup was amazing as well.
Wow.
So someone that loved the game, and then off the pitch as well too, his personality is massive.
Well, big salutes to Dr.
Through the
rest of the year, so we'll have various activities as well. Laie, let's begin with you. I mean, what have you been up to in recent times? I mean, since you bid farewell to Right to Dream, with your exploits there and everything.
So far it's been very good. My focus is more of coaching, and I feel so excited to be part of coaching group. And trust me, I'm really enjoying every bit of it. I know it's very difficult, comparing me being as a player and then coaching as well. For me, I think coaching is very, very difficult. When I was a player, it looks like I only think about myself. You know, I only go on the pitch and then try to focus on myself, how I'm going to perform well, then help the team as well. But being a coach, you have to think for a lot of people. You know, doing your planning, managing the backroom staff, managing the players, planning your sections, delivering your sessions, doing presentation to the boys before you go on the pitch, having a game plan before every game. So it's quite a work, you know, but if you are doing something and you have passion for it, I think you don't think about the tough times, you know. That's what is driving me. I have passion for it. I can do something else, but for me, I love the game so much to live it, you know. So at the moment, I'm the head coach of the U17s. I came in as an assistant for a short time with a performance that we put up in Serbia.
Yeah, I remember the Serbian tournament. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, with the U16s. I think the FA realized and saw that I deserve to be the head coach, and they did that as soon as possible. As soon as we came back, I had a meeting with them, and then they moved me from an assistant to the head coach now. So at the moment, I'm the national under-17 coach, and it's going very well. You know, previously, the Serbia group, we have regional scouts that scouted players for us, come to Accra. Then we have to pick the best among them. But I had an experience through that, and I decided to go myself this time. And this time, myself and my technical team, we went all over the regions. We went about 10 regions to pick the quality that we believe can help the country. Bring them to Pram Pram, and then now we have 26 players in camp. But there is still room. If I see someone who is better than the one that I have there, he also gets his chance. So at the moment, this is the focus. I'm focusing with the national under-17 men's team, and it's been very long since we qualified to major tournament with the U17. So that has been my worry, that we have, myself and my technical team, we're doing everything possible so that this time Ghanaians will enjoy under 17 again.
Do we have, is there hope? I mean, you are the experienced one. You played at that level, and God being so good, you found your way back. This time, you're operating from the dugout. I mean, in years past, we've had to deal with issues of age cheating, for instance, and all of that. How are we dealing with all of these things at this time in 2024, when we want to revive that interest and also get ourselves back there? We won 2 titles in the 90s.
Yeah,
2 world titles.
Yeah, for me, I think it's very, very important to take that job. I took it because I've been there as a player, and I had experience with the U17s as a player. In my time, it was 1997. We were runners-up. We went to the final with Brazil. We lost like 5 minutes to finish the game. We were leading 1-0. They equalized, and then we lost the final. So as a player, and then now coming back to coach the same, it gives me a lot of memories as a player. So that also have helped me to understand the mentality of that age group. And you speaking about like people not picking the right age group and all that. That's why I took it upon myself to go out there myself and then go and look at the boys. After that, this is what I did. I assign my team manager to go to if we pick you, I send my team manager to go to your school to go and verify and check your right age in the schools before I take a decision of bringing you to camp. So far it has been very good and clean exercise. Also, one thing we have to know that we have to go through the MRI before you be eligible to play in the WAFO and the African Cup of Youth Championship. So because of that, I did a lot of inquiries about the previous U17s, and the previous one, they had some challenges last minute, final minute. About 80% of the players failed the MRI. So last minute they have to be bringing new players in. That's technically it won't work because you, the coach, you've not worked with them. You don't know what they are bringing on board. The players doesn't know what you are expecting from them. So I took it upon myself and make sure spoke with the FA, with the FA support and Dr. Pambo's support. I think we took each and every player that is in camp now through the MRI exercise. And the target is, if you get 5, we'll still bring you to camp, grade 5, we'll still bring you to camp, but we have to monitor you till April. You have to go and do it again. Because one thing we should know, the main competition is in 2025. Of course, we have to qualify this year, but the main thing is 2025. But we want to build a team now that in 2025 they will be ready for anything that we put up in front of them. So if you have 4, then you are eligible. 4 downwards, that's the main numbers that we're looking at. But 5, it depends on the qualities that you have. We want to bring you in, and then we'll matter. So at the moment, we have about 6, 7 grade 5s that they are top talents that we are monitoring them. Hopefully, in May, again, they do the MRI, and then if they still in 5, then they still stay in camp. But for exercises and the mistakes we did before, the FA and myself, we've sat down and then we're making sure it won't happen again.
Now, we look around the continent now, and the defending champions of the Africa Cup of Nations are dominating everywhere, at every stage of the game. Senegal are now the template. Some years ago, Côte d'Ivoire, took that accolade because of their very effective academy system, their Sec Mimosa Academy and all of that. Now it's Senegal, and Senegal seems to have gotten it right in terms of setting their structures right and everything. Morocco is also getting themselves into the fray. What have we learnt about them? I know you traveled around to monitor some of the tournaments and all.
Yeah, for me, mentioning Senegal and Mali as well, it's about long-term planning, which for me, the results that they are getting now, they planned it maybe like 5, 6 years ago. So when you invest well in infrastructure, invest in your coaches, then your coaches can educate players in the country that can play in the highest level. So for me, I think all those countries, Senegal, Mali, Morocco, they invested well in the infrastructure. Good infrastructure will help the coaches to be able to educate the players well. It can develop the players well on good surface. And also educating good coaches that they can come and then pass on positive things to the players, So for me, I think it's long-term planning, and which for me, I believe Ghanaians, we should be exercise patient and have that long-term planning, and I think that's the only way we can have results. Long-term planning, and then also educate good coaches that they can pass positive knowledge to the playing body. With that, then the results will show on the pitch. So I think these countries, this is what they've done. And I'm not surprised that they're getting results because they're doing the right thing.
So you look at us and how we've planned. I'm asking all of these obviously because of where we are regarding how much influence we have, or how much the name Ghana resonates among football fans as we prepare for the Africa Cup of Nations, because there's a lot of talk about the planning and structures and all of that, and how it is going to have a telling effect on what we're going to see on the pitch eventually.
Yeah, for me, I know Ghanaians are not happy about the team because previous performances have not been. It's not gone well for us, but like you said, we are Ghana. We are Ghana. You go. I always say that everywhere you go in this country, you find quality players in the country. But then again, you can have one thing we should know is like a football team. It's a football team, so we need to have proper guidance to the players that we can guide them to achieve whatever the country wanted to achieve in terms of proper training camp, in terms of the technical team sending the right messages to them, the players getting used to the technical team. I know they went to camp very late, but most of the players that have made it to the final list, they've stayed with the technical team. So already the players know the technical team and the technical team know the players as well. So the state that they are in now, the main focus is game plan to our first game in Ivory Coast. I know it's going to be tough. It's not going to be it's not going to be easy for the team, but the most important thing is our first game. If you get it right, I think we'll have a smooth tournament.
Well, if you just joined us, we're having this conversation with Ghana legend Lai Kingston, who is now a coach, and he's been doing a lot in terms of coaching, in terms of scouting, and also football punditry on international networks, and is bringing his thoughts to bear as we look forward to what will hopefully be a good Africa Cup of Nations campaigns in the face of all the difficulties. We're going to be talking about the difficulties in a little bit, but Lai, I'd want us to talk a bit about the game, the Namibia test game on Monday, and how much we can draw out of it. Namibia decided to also camp here in Ghana, and that sure will bring a lot of benefits to them, especially as it's just next door in Cote d'Ivoire. But let's talk about the phenomenon of players and their release to national teams. The conversation about the placing of our leagues, the scheduling of our leagues, and how it should be in sync with that of Europe. This conversation has gone on and on and on. And now one bug that bit us years ago is coming back to sort of manifest itself again. It's taken a while. It took a while for Inaki Williams to return. Coach David Moyes spoke about, Kudus Mohammed said, look, I mean, if Mo Salah could play that last game, why couldn't, Kudus play? I mean, you also had similar challenges when you played the Hearts in Scotland.
Yeah, I think that's a massive challenge for the players and the teams as well. Because when you look at things, your country is your country. You have to honor your country. So previous years, I keep saying that I wish CAF can do something that they can at least move the tournament at the same time the Europeans are playing their European Cup as well. With that, teams will have will be happy their top players are leaving, because at the end of the day, maybe talking of Kudus now is one of the key players in West Ham team. And then as a technical person, a player that I'm building the team around is going away for like a month.
I remember the video of the little boy who said he wanted Ghana to be kicked out early so that Kudus could return.
Exactly. So these are some of the things. But then again, you have to think about your country first. So for me, when I was playing for Hearts, and I had similar situations like Iñaki Williams and Kudus Mohammed, what they are in now, I stood on my grounds and told the team, yes, you are paying my wages for me, but every player's dream is to honor his country. I have no choice, I have to go. I know when I come back, I'm going to fight back to win my position, my spot again, but playing for my country, I think, is the key, is every player's dream to play for their country. I know the clubs will suffer, but you cannot say no to your country. At the end of the day, and you're back to your country. It's going to be very difficult. If CAF can find a way in future, they can move the tournament to a certain, maybe at the same time the Europeans are playing their European Cup. Then again, all leagues will be on hold, and then players can go and honor their national teams. I think is going to help a lot. But I don't think it's fair on the national teams. And then it's not fair too on the team's behalf.
Now, we've had all sorts of situations. We had the Inaki Williams situation, we overcame it. He was able to do his nationality switch, and then he got the opportunity to play for the Black Stars. Then he started searching for goals. He couldn't get it right at the World Cup. Then recently in a qualifier, he got it right at no less a place than the Bavaria Stadium. It's
a massive relief from him. I I know the way he's going to feel when he wasn't scoring. I know Ghanaians, the way they love the game. So as for the pressure, Europeans, they understand the game. So Europeans, they will have time for you. But in Africa, the pressure, you have to come and deliver as soon as possible. So I was happy to see him getting his first goal. And hopefully that one is going to open the doors for him to score more goals. But talking about Iñaki Williams, you know, to integrate into a new environment is not easy. So that's why I've taken upon myself, because when you watch people like Junior Gogo was born in Ghana.
God bless his soul.
Yeah, may his soul rest in peace. Was born in Ghana, but he moved to the UK at a very younger age. So coming back, he already have something attached to Ghana. When you look at most of the players that we're moving to Ghana, like let's say Boateng for instance, we brought him in, and you can see that he's not even played one game in Accra or Kumasi. He comes in, but he will give an excuses and all that. It's not about him. Maybe the facilities, he's not used to the facilities, maybe. So when I took over the U17s, this is what I suggested. I put it to the FA. I told them, okay, because previously they said they don't bring young players from Europe, Ghanaian born in Europe, to come and play the youth national teams, which for me I think is okay, because they want to give a player in the village an opportunity, you see. But looking at Iñaki Williams' situation, looking at Quincy Osu-Abeye's situation, looking at Boateng's situation, they come in and they struggle to adapt, integrate. So these players, Iñaki Williams, imagine if we are bringing him in to come and feature in youth national teams. Before he gets to the Black Stars, he's used to the environment already. So we won't have those problems. So I put it across, and now for me, I think they back in it. They asked me to cast my net wide. So as I'm sitting here now, I'm looking at Ghanaian-born kids that are playing in Europe and maybe America, everywhere, Australia, everywhere. So that when they make it to the first team, it will be easy. We won't have those challenges like Iñaki Williams is facing now.
Well, while we do all of this, we would also want to delve into a bit of history as well. Would be looking at the team, would be looking at the players. 80-90% of the players have had little or no AFCON experience at all, and we'll be getting into that as well, and how it could have an effect, or it could be a blessing in disguise later on. But do remember that this is a conversation with Ghana legend Lai Kingston, who has had 2 appearances at the Africa Cup of Nations. Remember, the Africa Cup of Nations is just a couple of days away, and as things stand, the Black Stars are supposed to play a friendly against Namibia. We'll see how all of that goes. But now, let's throw the focus on you and the Africa Cup of Nations. You have a very twisted story, I mean, in terms of fortunes at the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, during your first appearance, when you clearly were in very, very good form, an incident took you away and it denied you a chance to play in the World Cup.
Yeah, those things are, it happens, but
have you moved on from that emotion and all of that?
Yes, I've moved on. I've moved on. By any time someone reminds me of that, I always feel down about it, because we are in the Nations Cup, and after a month we go into the World Cup. Yeah. And during that time,
you have contributed greatly to the campaign.
So we played the World Cup qualifications and then the Nations Cup qualification together. And we've qualified the team to the World Cup, qualified to the Nations Cup. You went to the Nations Cup, and then you had some challenges with the suspension and all that. And then in 1 month time, World Cup is kicking, and you will not be eligible to play. For me, if you ask me today, if I'm happy with my career, yes, of course. I did everything. I want to play in the Ghana Premier League, I did. I want to play outside the shores of Ghana, I did. I want to play in the senior national team, I did. In fact, I graduated from the U15s, U17s, U20s, the Olympic team and the senior team. So if you ask me, in my career...
You've done a full cycle.
Exactly, but the main thing is the World Cup. The World Cup is every player's dream to be there, which I don't have it in my CV, but I believe being a coach, I can definitely get there and experience it as a coach as well. So that tournament is, we did not even enjoy the tournament. We've qualified.
Why didn't you enjoy the tournament?
Yeah, the reason is the team that we had that time, before we got to the World Cup, we have a lot of injuries. Sule Mutari wasn't 100% fit. Michael Essien was out through injury. Stephen Appiah was also up fit to the tournament. Matthew Amwa 50-50. So before we even went to the Nations Cup, most of our key players that were in top form, that qualified the team to the Nations Cup and the World Cup as well, we lost about 4 or 5 key players in the team. So definitely the starting 11 will be weak. So for me, I think that is the only problem we had. And talking of myself, Sule Mutari, Stephen Appiah, and then Michael Essien, and then we missing 2 out of that. Myself and Stephen Appiah, we couldn't do it all. We had other players that came in to be there, but we've played a lot of games together. The way we can gel up, other players that came along to play with us, it will take us time for us to get used to it. So these are small things that I think cost us in that tournament.
And we couldn't make it into the final stages. So for you, it's more of the injury situation that we got at the 2006 AFCON. That really was the...
Yes, we did not have a full strength of players in that tournament.
So we probably could have won it if...
we were in top form. We've not even draw a game. No, we've not even lost a game. All these players playing together, we've not even lost a game. Apart from we losing our first game in the World Cup qualifier, we won every game till the Nations Cup that we lost to Nigeria and then Zimbabwe.
Well, time to wrap it up, Lai. I wish we could just keep going on and on and on, but I'm sure we're going to have more conversations as we get closer and closer to the day. But what will be your final message to the players? If you found yourself with them and you had to say something to them, what would you say to them?
Yeah, it's simple. You know, they know we are Ghanaians and we love the game of football. I know there is pressure on them, but they should be themselves. You know, they should listen to the technical team and then play according to what the technical team is bringing on board. Trust me, results, winning games, Ghanaians will root behind you again. Rest assured that some of us, we are rooting behind you. So go out there and exhibit, show whatever you've been taught and whatever is in you. And trust me, the sky will be the limit.
Lai, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Great having you this fine afternoon. And guys, ladies, friends from all over the world, thank you so much for watching and listening as well.